Greetings and well met. I'm the Adventurer, and this is episode 1 of the Minecraft Adventure Saga. This series starts out in 1.18, the Caves and Cliffs update in the Bedrock edition of Minecraft. It's a series that we focused around a survival let's play, and to some extent a game guide. To quickly go over some of our game settings, our world name is Minecraft Adventure Saga, game mode survival, difficulty we're going to leave it at normal, but we can change that later. Seed, we're going to leave this blank, that way it generates a random world seed. And for anyone who wants to play along in the same world, I'll leave the seed number in the video description below. Simulation distance, we're going to keep it at 4 chunks. For anyone who's unsure what simulation distance is, it's basically the distance that the world around you is active. So 4 chunks or 64 blocks around you, mobs will be moving, crops will grow, water will flow, fire will spread, all that stuff. World options, we're going to leave them the way they are. Later on we may activate show coordinates, but for now we're going to leave it deactivated. And it's actually a nice quality of life change that they've made in the Bedrock edition, that show coordinates is under the world options. It used to be you would have to activate cheats to show coordinates. Experiments, we're going to leave these alone as well. Basically, just like it says, experiments allow you to test out features that are under development. So if you were to activate the wild update, it would allow you to experience and test out the Warden and the Deep Dark, I believe. But just remember, if you do activate this, you can't turn it off after the world creation. Cheats, we're not going to do anything with the cheats. We're going to leave them deactivated. If you activate cheats in Bedrock Edition, you disable achievements. And there's still a few achievements we haven't gotten, so I'd like to earn those. Behavior packs, just as it says, it changes the way entities behave in Minecraft. And then resource packs. So resource packs or texture packs, they change the way resources and mobs look in the world. And we're going to switch things up a little bit in this series. We're going to actually activate one of my favorite resource packs, the Greek Mythology Mashup resource pack by Minecraft. What I love about using resource packs is that they inspire different builds and inspire different ways of playing the game without actually changing any of the fundamental mechanics of the game itself. And on that note, let's create our world and let the adventure begin. Alright, and we have spawned into our brand new world. We'll give the terrain just a moment to generate around us. And however, speaking of spawn, this spot right here is considered our world spawn, and by default it is a 21 by 21 area around you. So say you were to die, or maybe you don't have a bed respawn point saved, or maybe your bed was destroyed, you will always spawn back in this area right here. And then it looks like we're going to make our way up this hill. It looks like we have some pumpkins right there. We got some bees. And we have a few flowers, so I believe we have spawned in a meadow just at the base of this grove here. And before I collect any resources, so I'll be back for those pumpkins, but before I start collecting any kind of resources, I like to get a feel for the land, so to speak. I like to kind of look what kind of biomes border around my spawn, and it looks like the terrain is still generating around us. Also, if you're having any kind of lag issues or stuttering in your gameplay, go to video, or go to settings, go to video, and then all the way down you'll see render distance, which is basically like the distance that you can see. Set that back a little bit and it should correct those issues. I have mine set to 56, and I could set it higher. However, you can see that 56 chunks is plenty far enough, and so it looks like we've got some birch and oak. There's a donkey right there. Some birch and oak that way. And then we have a village right over there on that hillside. So that's a benefit of having a little bit further of a render distance, is you can see interesting points of, like, interesting locations off in the distance a little bit easier. However, something I'm not seeing is a lot of the basic resources. I think the best bet for wood, so we can get started crafting some of our wooden tools and even some wooden weapons, is going to be that side of that grove right there. However, I want to continue to check out a little bit more of the area around my spawn. It would be nice to be able to find So to be able to find like some coal, so we do have some coal right there, or some iron that's on that you can find on the side of these, or on the surfaces of these mountainsides, but not seeing a whole lot, and I don't want to go all the way down there, especially since I don't have any tools. I see some more pumpkins off in the distance that way. Also, you can sometimes find sugarcane on the outer edges of the water, but I'm not seeing any of that either. Alright, early on, I like to stick closer to my world spawn anyways, and we'll make our way back to that grove. But before we do, I'm going to punch at some of these blades of grass and see if I can't find any seeds, because we can use the seeds to kind of get started on planting like a small little farm or a small little garden, and use a hoe to plant the seeds, or at least till up some farmland, plant the seeds, and then grow some wheat. And we can use that wheat to start breeding some sheep and some cows. And that way, well, early on, we won't have to worry about our hunger gauge too much, which is a huge relief. Let's see if we can't find one more seed. Also, we'll have a steady supply of wool and a steady supply of leather. Okay, I don't think we're gonna get very lucky. There we go. Okay, we've got 6 seeds. Let's make our way. That'll be plenty for now. Let's make our way back to this grove side. Hopefully, be able to make our way up to one of these trees, to the top of one of these trees, and punch our way down. That way, we won't leave any kind of floating leaves. Hey, here we go. We've got some iron right here. That's basically what I was looking for over there. It's not necessarily surface iron, but it's close enough. And if we could make some iron tools on day 1, that would be huge. So let's make our way up this way, and perfect. We can just punch our way down from here. Alright, let's open up our inventory. Let's craft all of our spruce wood planks. Let's craft a crafting table. Throw that down. And then let's craft a few sticks here. That'll be plenty. So we're going to craft our first wooden pickaxe, our first wooden axe. And then, of course, because we have these seeds, and then I haven't forgotten about the pumpkins over there at close to our spawn, we're going to craft a wooden hoe. Alright, and then let's pick up our crafting table. We're gonna chop down a few more spruce trees, and then we'll try to go see if we can find some sheep. That way we can maybe get started on crafting a bed, or find some stone. That way we can get started on crafting some stone tools and weapons. I gathered 14 more spruce logs. I'm just gonna make my way down this mountainside now, and I actually got 12 spruce saplings, which seems like a solid amount of saplings for only chopping down 3 spruce trees. I did use my wooden hoe on some of the leaves, but it wasn't much more efficient than just punching at them, so the majority of the leaves I did punch. And we can actually plant these down here now, and next time I need a little bit of wood, I don't need to make my way up that mountainside. The sun is quickly setting. So we're actually just gonna rush our way in here. Ooh, looks like we got some coal right there as well. We do. We're gonna gather some of this stone, craft some of our first stone tools, and a stone sword, which is gonna be very important because we are not gonna have the luxury of sleeping through our first night. We're gonna have to fight our way through our first night. I do hear a sheep, but I've got to prepare. Okay, we're gonna throw down our crafting table here. Let's craft that. Let's actually organize our inventory a little bit really quick. That ambient sound sounds alien. Okay, let's craft that and that. Okay, we can pick this back up as well, and we're going to gather some coal here. That way we can craft some torches, and we are probably going to let me check this cave out back here really quick. Ooh, we got some more iron right here. Oh, great. Okay. So there's nothing there. So we're going to throw these torches down. Actually, probably should craft the torches first. Let's throw it right there. Actually, right there. And then we'll throw one right here. But we're going to have these just in case things get hairy out there. We have somewhat of a little haven right here where hopefully nothing will spawn. And I don't believe anything can make its way up here. I'm actually going to quickly grab this. But yeah, we can have this little safe space just in case we need to recoup. I'm going to gather this iron, though. We have this iron, and then we have that iron that's just right over there that we can hopefully snag through the night. And iron can actually be fortuned now. And so if you have the fortune enchant, you can potentially get back a lot more than just one. And I'm going to gather some more of this coal, and then we will prepare ourselves. And we can actually throw this. So we are going to leave this spot open because, as you can see, my hunger gauge is starting to deplete, and we don't have any food on us. So that leaves rotten flesh from zombies. So we're going to have to munch on that throughout the night. Well, maybe we won't get hit. But yeah, I'm going to gather some more of this coal, and then we will prepare to survive through the night.
Well, the sun is rising, and I just barely managed to make it through that first night without dying. So as a little reward, I'm going to come over here and collect this iron ore that I had spotted earlier. But right off the bat, I'd gotten poisoned by that witch, and poison won't kill you, but it'll bring you down to half a heart, where even if you take the slightest bit of damage, whether it be fall damage from you trying to run away, or maybe you smack a llama and that llama spits on you, that's going to spell the end for you. And we have some emerald ore right here. That's fantastic. Unfortunately, I can't collect it, though, because if I were to try to collect it with this stone pickaxe, it would just end up being destroyed. So I'll have to craft a furnace and smelt some of this iron ore down, and then come back whenever I end up crafting an iron pickaxe and gather that up. I'm going to gather some of this coal as well. But as you could see, when you have no other option or no other food source, rotten flesh is extremely useful. And we have some more iron right here as well, because not only did it allow me to recuperate my hunger gauge and regenerate some of my health, but it also allowed me to stay mobile. Because whenever your hunger gauge drops to 3, it allows you to no longer sprint. So keeping it above that allowed me to obviously avoid some of the mobs, but it also allowed me to strategically attack them and maneuver some of the zombies in front of some of the skeletons. That way it would distract those two, and those two would kind of fight each other. That way I could either have an opportunity to munch on some of this rotten flesh, or take care of some of the other mobs that were around in the vicinity.
But throughout the night, I was primarily focusing on zombies. One, because zombies dropped rotten flesh, and I knew I would need some sort of food source. And then 2, zombies have the chance of spawning with weapons, they have a chance of spawning with swords, shovels, and armor. And we saw one with a shovel and a few with some armor, but we weren't fortunate enough to get anything to drop. Skeletons also have the chance of spawning with armor, but early game, when you don't have any armor and you just have a stone sword to attack them with, they always manage to at least land a single hit on you. And so I was trying to actively avoid them just for that reason. I didn't go over it before, and I need to eat some of this rotten flesh really quick so I can sprint. But I didn't go over this beforehand, but I was jumping, and then I would come down and I would strike at the mobs. That's to land a critical hit, and it's always shown by particles. That's how you know you've landed a successful critical hit. So if I were to jump, and then you see those particles, that's showing that I had landed a successful critical hit. Whereas if I do this, you don't see those particles, except you did see the particles from the hunger debuff I have. But yeah, you don't see those particles around it, and it actually does just a little more damage when you end up doing a critical hit like that. And aside from getting drops from mobs and stuff, another benefit from fighting through the night instead of trying to just sleep through it is you get a good chunk of XP. So you see I have 12 levels. The majority of that, so probably about 10 levels, came from fighting mobs, and then probably around 2 came from collecting coal. But we can actually go over what we had ended up getting throughout the night. We got some flowers where we had either smacked at them or smacked at a few just because they were in the way whenever we were fighting some zombies, or from where creepers blew up and just kind of destroyed some of the terrain. We got some spider's eye and then some string from some spiders. We can use this to make some bows. I would rather get one from a skeleton, though, because they can drop enchanted bows. And we can use the spider's eye for making potions, which will be really important later on. And then we got some bone. Wish I would have gotten maybe a little bit more, but like I said, I was trying to avoid the skeletons. We can use this to make some bone meal and help get our little garden running a little bit quicker. And then we managed to get a carrot, which is probably the best thing we got all night. It's a rare drop from zombies, and we can use this single carrot to just grow a whole field of carrots. But we're gonna finally get over here to collecting these pumpkins that I said I would collect right up at the start of the game. We won't collect them all. We'll just collect a few. That way we can still have a little bit of a natural look going in our world. We'll collect this one, and we can turn, I think it's four seeds for one pumpkin. Yeah, so we can turn these 3 pumpkins into 12 pumpkin seeds, which will be plenty for a good start. And that's going to be the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next adventure.